Proton meets electron. This painting shows how, even at the atomic level, life is already the product of the interaction of contrasting but complementary forces. Rapture of fission. Metaphysically, the Big Bang may be considered as the Godhead radiating part of itself as innumerable souls, which are projected into the farthest reaches of the universe. Ecstasy of fusion. Upon reaching their destination, the souls begin their grand adventure, journeying through time, space, experience, and learning, traveling back to the Godhead to be reintegrated with the Source at last. Original sin. Descent of spirit into matter. Passing through the light of the sun, spirit plunges into earthly conditions of matter to form for itself various embodiments for personal expression. And they created humankind in their imagination. Both metaphysically and scientifically, creation can occur only through the interaction of contrasting yet complementary forces, and everything, including the human species, was created first of all in the imagination of the creative pleroma. Creation and evolution. Below we see the electromagnetic and mental blueprints of life forms. They solidify gradually into astral and etheric forms. In the middle is the physical dimension. Above we see the life principle again, rising through ever more refined states of being, towards emancipation from conditions of gross matter. Secret of the Kunbum. This idea comes from Tibetan scriptures, showing spirit sleeping in rock, then awakening in vegetation, and continuing to progress through ever more refined forms to finally incarnating in humankind. The three cages. The divine immortal soul functioning through the physical, the emotional astral, and the mental spiritual bodies, which are both a vehicle and a prison to it. Dance of the Seven Veils. The divine soul at the core of the evolving human, encased in 7 layers of being. The gross material shell, the etheric body, the mental body, and so forth, culminating in the vehicle of spiritual consciousness. The two muses. Seated on the earth, we see the popular muse, dispensing inspiration from physical and emotional sources, while the classical muse, perched higher up, is radiating inspiration from the emotional and intellectual dimensions. heaven and hell. Metaphysically speaking, heaven is the dimension of the liberated mind and spirit, and hell is the dimension of the earthly physical life, and they occupy the same space at the same time. Dark night of the soul. The internal struggle of the evolving soul against the onslaught of various temptations, injustices, and sorrows, which are all part of the school of hard knocks, which is earthly life. Hell, purgatory, and heaven. This picture has nothing to do with the afterlife. It is symbolic of the raging appetites of the body, the ambivalent emotions of the heart, and the soaring, liberating powers of the mind. Taming the birds, fishes, and beasts, meaning taming the thoughts of the mind, the feelings of the emotional nature, and the appetites of the physical body through meditation. The lotus rising. In the Eastern mind, the lotus plant symbolizes the human soul. The roots, anchored in mud, means the biological body. The stem in water means the emotional nature, and the flower rising in the air expresses the realm of the intellect. Self-communion. Conferring through meditation with one's own higher aspects to attain to enlightenment. The Paradise Ladder. Approaching the divine state through a long, long process of gradually purifying, refining, uplifting states of one's own being. The Hermitage. A contemplative life dedicated to the translation of one's enlightenment into handiwork to share it with fellow humans is possible even in the middle of the busiest, noisiest city. Mysteries of the Kingdom of Heaven. The evolutionary soul and the divine soul working together within the heart of the human being to give the right form to the personality. Cosmic consciousness. The experience of oneness with the universe, feeling like a vast, boundless organism, not being just conscious, but being consciousness itself, like a huge, boundless brain, including in itself all there is.